these things. They challenged almost every one of our points.
I had said in the meeting, the issue is basically that being gay is not an issue. The movie is pro-gay from the very beginning because being gay is an accepted fact. It's like biological. It's there and who cares, you know? Making it to a non-issue is the ultimate sign of being adult about it. It is not an issue. It's a part of life.
We went back to the original screenplay that Mario had purchased from Joe, and we shot that particular screenplay.
And action.
We did not want to be censors, but we wanted to act. We knew that this was a piece of commerce as much as it was a work of art, in fact, probably more so, and that unless we affected them economically, there was no way our message was going to be heard. So that, of course, meant going to the set.
Hollywood, you sick, lock your heads in.
There was an enormous amount of publicity, anti-publicity, and hate and anger by the different gay communities that were in San Francisco.
Our first night of shooting, we were demonstrated on by about 150 people. And this went on for 18 nights. They knew our location, they knew exactly where we were going, where we would be.
Every day there was chanting and screaming and trying to get on the set.
My lawyers had gone to a judge and we had a 300 feet restraining order against the groups. I also had about 100 policemen.
I thought it was great. I think it was nice war, you know. And like they say, soldier of war, it's like the main character says there, Rutger Hauer, a little bit of war, not so bad. So I thought, this is life, you know. I'm on the barricades. I'm making a movie that should be there, but they don't know.
They were very clever. They rang bells, blew whistles. They got passing motorists to honk their horns by holding up the sign. If you're a 49ers fan, honk your horn. And of course, being San Francisco, everybody's a 49ers fan. I had to arrest people only when they encroached on the barriers. The police rounded up, I think 40 of them or 30 of them. And they said, well, we can't arrest them because they're not really doing anything to break the law. But you, who have the restraining orders, you're the person who instigated this, so you have to arrest them.
And then one by one, we were sort of brought before Mr. Marshall. He pointed to us and would say, yes, I want this person arrested.
The first night that I got involved in arresting, I think I arrested 26. They really hated me, and most of their venom, certainly all of their nasty songs, were related to me.
We had a sense of humor about what we were doing, and we saw the absurdity of what was going on, and this just added to that. You know, if they wanted to take it to that level, then we were just going to take it up another level.
And then they started to go for us, and they started to cut the cables when we were shooting. They were using, let's say, lamps to shoot in the camera, basically, so you couldn't use the shot because there would be lamps, of course, shining right into the camera.
And it took quite a few weeks before it finally settled down, and it created for very much tension on the set. It created tension between the actors because they were made to believe almost by the protester that they were doing something really wrong and dirty and that they were kind of embarrassed about it. Michael was really made to believe that he was doing the wrong thing.
And Rolling Stone calls it one charged up erotic thriller. Basic Instinct, rated R.
This film was going to be released, and regardless of what we had done, it was going to come out in essentially the form in which it had been written. It was still just as offensive to us, and it was going to have a multi-million-dollar publicity machine behind it. So we decided that we were going to ride that machine to get our message across.
How do you feel about the protests? Not just the ones in the past, but the ones that are planned when your film opens in big cities?
Yeah, well, I don't know. What can you do about it? I think they have the right to protest, and like we had the right to make the movie, I think they're aiming at the wrong target.
Throughout the entire protests, we had been labeled as censors. We had been told that we were trying to censor this film, that we were trying to stop expression. And we thought about that, and we realized what better way to sort of turn that around but to name our group. Catherine did it. Catherine, of course, is the killer in the film. By giving away the ending of the film, we were challenging Hollywood to see, well, which is more important to you? Is our freedom of expression any less valuable than the freedom of expression of the filmmakers? You can know that Rosebud is a sleigh and still think that Citizen Kane is a great film. If giving away the ending of this movie takes away its value, that's really not our fault.
I felt that they were all absolutely wrong, and that the movie would prove them wrong.
It wasn't about positive versus negative images. It was about the whole history, and it was about not just what was wrong with this film, it was about what's wrong with the whole industry. When I look back 10 years from now and I see Ellen, I see Will and Grace, I honestly don't believe that would have happened if not for the fact that there was an active movement, a vocal activist movement out in the streets demanding that Hollywood change its tune.
The moment the movie opened, it dispelled itself.